Welcome! If you are watching this video, you are likely registered to submit a traditional WPE portfolio in October 2023. This is the October 2023 WPE workshop for the reading set topic, Community Storytelling. My name is Betsy Gomez and I am the Associate Director of the Writing Proficiency Program. Program Coordinator Rose Mooney will be joining me in this presentation. Please make sure to bookmark our website, which is www.umb.edu/WPE. Our website houses some helpful content, such as the detailed WPE portfolio requirements, grading criteria, the WPE schedule, and copies of our resources like the grid notes and these PowerPoint slides. You may also book a quick question or hold release appointment via the link on our website's main page. We have designed this short workshop so you can familiarize yourself with the WPE grading standards and portfolio requirements. We'll go over the submission process and submission schedule. We will also take some time to offer advice on how to write a successful WPE essay. This will include a discussion on what kind of essay to write, how to incorporate and give credit to sources, and how to make sure you are answering the essay prompt. Finally, we'll model how you can use organizational tools like our grid notes to create an index of important quotes and make sure your challenge essay effectively engages with your sources. The criteria for EREP and WPE are the grading standards that will be used to grade your submission. This criteria was created by the faculty at UMass Boston and is directly related to the aims of the General Education Program. According to the General Education Program, writing proficiency involves critical thinking, critical reading, and elements of writing. These capabilities are demonstrated within an essay by the following criteria: writing with a clear purpose, effectively utilizing source material, and organization. Keep in mind that you are not expected to write a perfect essay. You are college students and you are still learning and growing as thinkers and writers. The graders expect your essay to demonstrate intermediate proficiency in writing. This means that the WPE is not a spelling or grammar exam. You are being graded on whether your essay clearly answers the essay prompt, on whether you engage with and utilize your sources in a way that supports your answer to the question, and on whether your essay is organized in a clear and understandable manner. It is very important that you write an essay that shows your thinking and your point of view. We'll continue to remind you about this throughout the workshop. It's that important. WPE challenge essays are scored on a scale of 1 to 9. Developing essays earn scores between 1 and 3. Proficient essays earn scores between 4 and 6. And the scores for exemplary essays are between 7 and 9. To pass the WPE, your essay must earn a score of 4 or higher from 2 different graders. Course papers provide a supporting role. Graders may consult them to assist with difficult grading decisions. The first criteria you are being graded on is writing with a clear purpose. Writing with a clear purpose involves having a sustained focus on a position, argument, or inquiry. Your position, argument, or inquiry are always determined by what you think, usually in response to a prompt or an assignment. A proficient essay would clearly state its focus, and it would maintain that focus throughout the entire essay. A proficient essay presents a methodical and connected discussion. Your challenge essay should focus on answering the prompt on page 1 of the Community Storytelling reading set, which is, how can community storytelling and fan fiction provide solace for community members and give them tools for actions that will address the challenges that their stories describe? Effectively utilizing source material involves carefully selecting, integrating, and explaining source material, as well as meaningfully applying that material in service of an essay's purpose. Effective use of sources means moving beyond summarizing the ideas in the texts and towards meaningful engagement with those ideas. A proficient essay engages in conversation with sources by connecting the source's ideas to your essay's purpose and argument. A proficient essay relates the source's ideas and materials to your own ideas and makes that relevance explicit. A proficient essay explains and contextualizes ideas from sources, possibly by briefly reviewing the source's argument, putting their ideas into your own words, or illustrating them with fresh examples. The source material you will use for the October WPE are the 3 reading sets in the October WPE reading set packet by Zhengje Hao, Walkington, and Popova. Please do not include any sources not in the reading set. Just use what we gave you in that packet. Organization indicates awareness of your reader's need to be guided through the flow of your ideas. It guides the audience from paragraph to paragraph with effective transitions and connects sentences to form coherent paragraphs. In a proficient essay, each paragraph would signal a new idea and how that idea is explicitly related to the previous paragraph and to the overall purpose of the essay. And in a proficient essay, sentences use forms that express meaning to the reader, and each sentence has a meaningful connection to the other sentences in that paragraph. The current requirements for the WPE portfolio are a challenge essay of 1,500 words or longer. That would be based on the reading set and prompt, and 3 course papers. 1 course paper must be 1,250 words or longer. The other 2 course papers can be 750 words or longer. If you are a first semester transfer student, meaning that you transferred in summer or fall 2023, you are allowed to submit 2 course papers. 1 paper should be 1,250 words or longer, and the other paper can be 750 words or longer. All students submitting a WPE portfolio must write a new essay answering the WPE prompt. You'll be giving the link to the confirmation form closer to the submission deadline. The confirmation form includes an honesty statement and a brief survey. All course papers submitted in your WPE portfolio should come from courses you took at UMass Boston. You are allowed to submit 2 papers from your intermediate seminar course or CRW 282. You should at least include 1 essay from a course that is 200 level or higher. Your papers should utilize sources, and a source can be anything from a journal article, book, lecture, or work of art. All papers should be analytical and present an argument. This means that personal narratives and reflections or creative writing pieces are not appropriate. With advanced approval, you may be able to submit a paper based on observation, like a lab report or case study. Please email your candidate papers to us at writing.proficiency@umb.edu, and we will take a look at them. You can also email us your papers if you're second guessing whether or not they are appropriate to include in your portfolio. We're happy to look at them. Regardless of whether you started your studies at UMass Boston this semester or 3 years ago, everyone needs to submit a challenge essay based on the WPE reading set and prompt. If you are signed up in the October WPE, you will have to write that challenge essay. We will not grade any portfolios that do not include the challenge essay. When you register for the WPE, you receive an email confirmation which includes a link to access the reading set. If you can't find this message, send us an email and we will make sure you have the reading set. Portfolios are submitted via Blackboard. Around October 18th, you will begin to have access to the WPE Blackboard course shell, CAS 015. You will have until 11:59 p.m. on October 20th to submit your portfolio. We'll grade portfolios from October 24th through 27th, and we will email WPE results after 5 p.m. on Friday, October 27th. If you receive a pass result, that means that you have completed the WPE. If you receive a retake result, it means that the WPE graders did not find that your submission met the grading criteria. If you receive a retake, please make sure to sign up for retake counseling, which will take place from October 30th to November 3rd. During your retake counseling appointment, you will meet with a faculty member via Zoom to go over your result and review the grader's comments on your portfolio. You will also have the opportunity to revise your essay using the feedback from your retake counseling appointment. Revisions are due a week after your counseling appointment and are only accepted if you meet with a retake counselor. Revisions will be graded by new faculty members. If your revision attempt is not found to be proficient, you will need to attempt the WPE again. The next WPE will be for a January 2024 submission with registration opening on our website on November 27th.
We are now moving to the advice portion of our workshop. These are just a few tips to keep in mind as you start working on your WPE challenge essay. The most important component of a WPE challenge essay is your own thinking. If you don't express your ideas and provide logical support for your own ideas, you will not pass the WPE. Remember that the grading standards, focus, source use, and organization are all tied to your own thinking. Our first piece of advice includes a few do's and don'ts. Our first don't. Don't write a report. Do write an essay. Do use the reading set sources, but don't over-summarize. But do engage with the sources. Finally, whether you quote, summarize, or paraphrase, do give credit whenever you are using someone else's ideas or words. Always give credit. We will break down this advice in more detail on the next couple of slides. The main difference between a report and an essay is that a report may have a lot of summary and is meant to inform the audience about something. An essay has a small amount of summary. In an essay, the writer's goal is to persuade the audience that their argument is correct or important. You are the writer here, and your goal is to convince your readers. In an essay, you will take a position and present an argument that is supported by information and logic. As mentioned earlier, your own thinking is essential. The graders want to know what you think. It is important to answer the question as soon as possible, ideally in the first paragraph. Your position or thesis statement is important because it is the heart of your essay. You can employ phrases from the question to create your position. For instance, the prompt asks, how can community storytelling and fan fiction provide solace for community members and give them tools for actions that will address the challenges that their stories describe? So a possible answer might look like, community storytelling and fan fiction can provide solace for community members by, which would directly address the first part of the question. And then you might say community storytelling can also provide tools such as, or which suggests an analysis of how storytelling can result in action. This example sets up the answer to the prompt, which will encourage you to answer both parts of the question. You will clearly address both how storytelling can provide solace and how it can give community members tools for action. What is the question asking you to do? Pay attention to the question. How can community storytelling and fan fiction provide solace for community members and give them tools for actions that will address the challenges that their stories describe? When you're breaking down the question, consider the different parts. How can community storytelling and fan fiction provide solace for community members? You might ask yourself, what counts as solace? How do these community storytelling activities help people find it? When you're looking at the part of the question that says, and give them tools for actions that will address the challenges that their stories describe, you might ask yourself, what kinds of challenges do their stories raise? How can storytelling provide them with tools? How do those tools help them address the challenges? Your essay would need to go into all these parts of the question in detail, using the reading set material to support your answer. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything in the reading set. You could certainly argue against one or more of the sources. Just make sure to explain why you disagree. The WPE graders will be familiar with the reading set, so you don't need to summarize it in detail. Instead, use the reading set material to expand on your own argument. Here's an example of what that can look like. Community storytelling can provide solace for community members in difficult situations, such as periods of intense illness or while struggling to survive in an unjust system. For example, in Sharing is Caring, participatory storytelling and community building on social media amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, Jenny Xinghe Yu points out that when it comes to sudden disease outbreak, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, scholars advocate participatory storytelling as a vehicle to engage, unite, and empower people. These feelings of engagement, unity, and empowerment can help people in a difficult situation find solace and comfort through verbalizing and sharing their experiences with one another. Lori Walkington describes similar effects in her article about spoken word poetry communities. Walkington describes the ways participation in spoken word communities can provide solace to individuals going through systemic inequality, such as when she describes the way participants were coming together to form pieces that dealt with the trauma felt as a result of mass incarceration in the form of ICE detention centers. One way community storytelling can give communities tools to address challenges can be seen in Milena Popova's article on fan fiction, when they describe how online fan groups can challenge, shape, and change cultural norms by both providing representation for minority groups and a critique of media that may contain harmful stereotypes. The tools of analysis and creativity that are gained from this fan group storytelling activity can help community members address the challenges they are bringing up in their fan fiction on a larger scale beyond the group they are taking part in. Notice that this example uses the reading set material with some summary, but also directly engages with the material using quotes and paraphrases to explain a main idea. The final sentence echoes back to the prompt, which shows focus. It is important that the graders can differentiate between your ideas and those of the authors of the reading set. This means that you should be careful and make sure to cite when you use someone else's ideas. When you use summary, you briefly spell out the main points of something. When you paraphrase, you reword someone else's statement. A direct quotation is taken directly from the text. Here are a few examples of what summary, direct quotes, and paraphrases can look like. The grid notes are a tool that you can use in the reading, drafting, and editing stages of your writing process. You can use them to make an index of important ideas and quotes in the reading set, and to make sure you're engaging with all the sources in the reading set. The grid notes can help you create an index of important ideas in the reading set. You can see that the student has filled out the page numbers where they believe these ideas are discussed. It can be useful to keep an index, as it might make it easier for you to see connections or differences between the readings, and it will also help you select quotes that you can include in your essay. You can use the grid notes to try to synthesize the sources. This means that instead of using the sources separately, you can use them together to support your own argument. Please don't overlook the resources available to you this WPE cycle. Tutoring is available from now through October 16th. We offer both in-person and remote or Zoom appointments. On October 16th through 19th, we will offer draft reviews. When you sign up for a draft review, you are reserving a staff member's time. You will not be meeting with a tutor one-on-one. Instead, you will send us your draft essay before your appointment, and then your tutor will email you feedback. The link to sign up for draft reviews will be sent via email in our weekly update on October 13th. This concludes the October 2023 WPE workshop. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us via email. We will answer you as soon as we can. Good luck with the writing process.